Hi, Rujuta.
Hi, Chris.
Good to see you.
Same here, same here.
What we're here today to talk about?
Why don't we talk about us?
Hey!
Because we are all important
Of
people.
course, that would be great. As well as something else known as AI and maybe some confidence thrown into that.
We are going to talk about
But,
AI.
of course, yeah. So let's talk about that
We
first.
have to talk about AI.
So let's maybe combine the two and say why is AI important and why we're here to talk about that and us. Like what is your background in this space? I'll start with you.
Oh, you're interviewing me.
Well, for the minute, yeah.
Okay. So I have been doing digital transformation, customer
Mm.
transformation for like 20 odd years now. Different technologies, internal business systems, processes, people, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of different sectors. And last 2, 3 years, been playing with AI, not just playing with AI, but the the idea of AI being using AI as that
Yeah.
transformation
Yeah.
way. And what happens again and again is that we are treating AI as exactly how we treated everything else that came before. The more I do this work, the more I realize that it's not
Yeah.
all the same. And that whole playbook has to change.
Okay.
The foundational assumptions that we have had before about how much something takes, or what are the things that are needed in order, like what are the inputs and outputs
Interesting. Yeah.
at each different stages of transformation, everything, all
Yeah.
of those things
Yeah.
are different, like fundamentally.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I think because my background has been strategy and transformation, AI almost came as like a natural extension of that.
Yeah. Of
But
course.
even though I have fell into it, I realized that it's actually nothing like how it was.
Yeah. And you're saying play there as well, so playing with AI because it is fun, right? AI is
Oh
it
yes.
can be fun. It might be scary to some people, but it is fun,
Yes.
I think, because I think the art of the possible is much more real now. We can actually dream of an idea, talk about it, and see it come into action quite quickly. And I think that's where I've seen tons of benefit from my world as well. I suppose because like yourself, 20 years doing tech,
Product.
strategy, product, yeah, building in companies and working in companies with it. And I think just now getting things done has never been easier than ever. And I think it's easy to talk about stuff and not do the stuff. Well, I think now there's no excuses. It's like you can talk about an idea and turn it into something real quite quickly. So for my world, it's been like, how do you get people to actually do the work but feel confident and feel safe in making these new ideas real? And I think for me, talking about AI and AI confidence, it goes hand in hand. One's the enabler, and one's more like the human feeling that actually connected together is where I can see like different companies separating between the ones that will win and ones
Yeah.
that will lose.
And it's so interesting what you're saying, because I can see it, there is a pattern. The reason we've now worked together on many different clients, and
Yeah.
we've worked as partners. But the reason I think we get along, because I know that you're not just talking about doing stuff, you're actually doing the stuff yourself.
Thank you.
And I think that
That means a lot.
I think that distinction is important,
Yeah.
because I do work with clients who have lots of different consultancies and consultants who
Yeah.
they're taking advice from, and it's all great. It just very few, there is a very small proportion of people who are actually doing the doing, not just talking about doing the doing.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that is literally the reason we started talking about AI confidence is we are almost trying to do that for the CXOs, aren't
Absolutely.
we? We
Yeah.
want them to not just talk about
Yeah.
doing,
It's really true.
them to do the doing.
Yeah, it's really true. And I think every company that I've had the pleasure of working with from every shape and size, even some of the biggest ones, we're talking like big groups or companies that have a large C-suite team. It's the same problem every type of business. And that's, we know we need to do something. We might have loads of resources to do something. Or we might just hire or buy some licenses to something,
Yeah.
do it as an exercise of ticking off things to do to feel
Yeah.
confident in that. But
Yeah.
actually, we don't really know where to go with it, how to deploy it, or how to even like safely integrate it with our teams across the companies. And I think that's where I've seen a load of opportunity and risk. And I think where we're talking about bringing confidence and AI expertise into it is to kind of bridge that risk from what people don't know or worried about, and what can be done with it, and making sure that there's a plan in place that is universally accepted by the ecosystem of the business.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. What you just said there, the issue with AI, one of the biggest issues with AI, which wasn't true with other digital transformation, not as much at least, is how fast it is changing.
Yeah.
Which means what's real today is not real tomorrow. And what's true today was not, you and I know this, was not true even 6 months ago. What we can do today, we couldn't have done that 6 months ago. This is where when I hear things like we have 3-year AI transformation roadmap, my antennas go like, oh,
really?
Okay.
That's quite a nice way to put it. My experience is my heart breaks a little bit and I feel tears, like in your eyes when I'm like, okay. So yeah, 3 year, let's just talk about 3-year AI transformations then. So yeah, I think personally I would call them as BS, to be honest, in terms of what they really are, because they're not, I don't know how do you plan 3 years ahead with AI? I don't think you can.
Even without it.
Yeah. I'm a fortune teller.
You said, I'm not going to use any AI.
Yeah.
And I have a 3-year transformation roadmap.
Yeah.
Even that is, oh my God, problem.
Yes.
Like if I was on the board and somebody told me that I have a 3-year-old roadmap, either with or without AI, I'm like, something is going wrong somewhere.
Yeah, of course. And I think more importantly today, roadmaps are great, I suppose, and 3-year ones I think are probably a bit ambitious. But I think it's more about what about the people involved in that roadmap? Because realistically, the technology that we're talking about in this case is going to be so integral to like not just the company and the C-suite who we're trying to help, but just all the team members underneath. So like they need a way to transform with the company, with the tech, which comes back to things like AI fluency and trainings.
This is the thing, right? It's not that like why both of us think that statement is a big alarm bell.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's how everyone did transformation programs before.
Yeah, true.
All of a sudden, it's not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because it is not the right thing to do. And this is the difference that a lot of people are not grasping. They think it's another technology, but what we don't understand is that, how long something takes has fundamentally changed. How much something costs has fundamentally changed.
Yeah.
So if you are a CXO and you're still making decisions on investments, massive $1 million investments based on what was true 5 years ago, then frankly you're doing disadvantage to both your company and yourself for your career.
That's true. So when you're saying that, I was thinking about if you're trying to chart a course forward for your company or whatever, but then you're looking backwards at like old maps and old history, how it's done before. It may have worked historically, but I think with this technology, it's not possible because you don't know how it's going to change the way business works. Coming from someone who spent the last year literally building a fully agentic kind of like autonomous business from the ground up, which I had the luxury of doing, I'm sure you've the same, right? And it's hard to change big companies into that, I understand, but I think you need to look at it from a lens of how do you empower the CXOs to make that course correction and understand it, and then how do you layer that AI fluency throughout the company with things like AI operating models and things like that, which we can.
To be honest, like the way when I go into companies or when I'm talking to, even if I'm not going into companies and I'm meeting CXOs, and most conversations I have are like, we're not really worried about AI. We've got AI. In fact, 2 days ago, I was talking to the CTO and he's like, people are so tired of hearing about AI or talking about AI, and they do not want to talk about AI anymore. And most people think that they have done AI and the board is not going to scream at them anymore because they have rolled out whatever ChatGPT, Copilot, whatever they chose, and that is it. And then you ask them, okay, what has changed since? Did anything change? Did your day change? Did somebody else's day change? Did anything change in your company? And if the answer is, Yeah, kinda, not really.
Mm.
Because the way you and I have been experiencing it, it's mind blowing. Yeah, may kind of, right? This is why both of us were like, well, something is going on. And everybody thinks, oh, we need to do training for the rest of the company, like all the mid management,
Yeah,
everybody
right.
else, like upskill people.
Yeah.
But nobody's actually thinking about, well, but if the CXOs don't understand fully what the capabilities are,
Yeah.
how do you do this operating model? How do you think about doing
Yeah.
this?
That's it.
Then none of this, if they think AI is ChatGPT rolled out,
Yeah.
then that is where the biggest issue is.
Yeah, it's correct. And I just think to the experience of my recent clients in terms of this large fashion house, it was like the CXOs want to do something, but they're not sure how. And once we help them understand where we could go with this, to give them the confidence and the plan, then we could design, say, an operating model together, which then enabled us to then distribute the C-suite or the senior leadership across it. So not everyone's taking all the tasks. It's spread between everybody. So the responsibility sits there. And it also covers things like governance and safety alongside effort and impact and budgets and all the good stuff businesses like to talk about. But it's a plan that universally connects the most, I guess, empowered change makers versus it coming from like bottom up, which then has that problem of, a marketing team using their own AI in the shadows versus actually coming from the company itself.
Yes.
And I think that's how I'd see practicality meets confidence, because there's something there that connects the people as well as how they can deliver it.
Do think that it has to be top down.
Yeah.
I do think it's top down.
Realistically.
Although the general sense is that it's bottom up, and it's not even up, it's just bottom. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's somewhere down there.
Down there.
Right. Okay.
I think it's all top down.
Yeah.
And not so much down in the sense you're going to do this. It's more co-creation from all the parties.
Yes.
I mean, there is this other client that we did recently, and there's this, what you're talking about and what generally happens, right? Most people think about AI as an individual productivity lens.
Yeah.
So how do I use ChatGPT Copilot, like to write my emails or PowerPoint deck or status update? And that's great, fantastic. Like obviously all of us save hours doing that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But if you're looking at it from a company perspective, a business perspective, then unless you start thinking about organizational transformation, which will never come from a person in marketing team or a person in finance team, it has to come cross-functionally. So it has to sit in the top. You have to think about it like from the top in terms of how new operate, not just operating model or AI operating model, but how the business operating model looks like with AI.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think with the people at that C-suite level, I think there's probably a solution that we're coming up with, for example, that might be of help for them. And I suppose we have this thesis that before you can commit to kind of big change and almost big initiatives, like knowing and having the confidence in your decisions around this tech is the core essence of it. It's like the foundational start of everything. So start with confidence, move on to capability, move on to kind of like scale. And I know from like what we're looking to do with the AI Confidence Day is exactly that. Start with the C-suite, start with the CXOs, give them practical things to do, not just like theory, like actually let them come in, do the thing, learn as they do, leave with something that can then be applied.
Because you see the difference. Like I don't know about you, I see this difference clearly. Someone who has done the doing and someone is just talking.
A lot to do is
in 5-10 minutes when I meet somebody who is saying they are AI expert or they've done AI.
Yes.
We know, who has actually done it and who hasn't. Yeah. And again, I wanted to say, like, sometimes I do feel how arrogant of me to actually say, oh, I am this person who is going to now teach you about AI when there are everybody else in the world is talking about AI.
Yes.
And I think when I reflect back, the thing that I have that probably you have as well, or what has worked for you is I think I've had luxury of time. Yeah. So I have had time to play, and I've been learning, like last 2 years has been, while I'm doing all these other things, it's been constant learning, constantly.
Yeah.
And I think that when you and I go into companies, one of the things that we see all the time is everybody's so busy.
Yeah.
They are just doing their day to day. There is no headspace. There is no space
to do anything else.
to do anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else. And that applies to CXOs as well.
Yeah.
So how would you ever know if you haven't really played with it?
Yeah.
And because things are changing so fast, like we said, what was true 6 months ago is not true anymore.
Yeah, right.
So it's almost like you have to do this AI confidence day every year at least, or probably even 6 months.
Yeah, I'd say 6 months, quarter maybe, if you get extra safe on that stuff. But you're right, because the reality I see is like to get going on something new with AI usually takes more effort. If everyone's short of time, how do you get that effort? Of course, you can bring in people like us to help them kind of build the plan and do that. And like I've been saying to you, it's like, you put the extra 20% in at the start to kind of build the AI model and train it and get it ready for your super plan. But once it's going, like you'll get that back multiples. You'll get it, you get 50% of your time back, if not more. And this is from experience with what I've done with my business. And I think that's where, you know where you want to go, you layer in the confidence, you help build that plan at the start. That starts to level up that company with that kind of autonomy meets human, that beautiful like symbiosis of the two working together. But yeah, he's right. But from a CXO point of view, they are the key unlock, I think, because they can start to initiate these changes from the company. So I'd love to like help more people have that experience. For me, it's not so much a tech game, it's more of a human-centered game about feeling and understanding and knowledge and keeping people apace of that. The technology is a byproduct. So in many ways, it's like AI is not there to kind of take things away. It's meant to be unlock the time. You talked about time before, right? So my pitch to a lot of people is, I'm not going to sell you time. I'm going to try and sell you time back. So like, if you bring me in, I'm not going to say, here's my day rate, and it means 5 days, and it's like, it's a system, it'll do this. And in theory, if we use time as your measure of success, you'll get all this time back, which is going to be X amount more than what I'm charging you over time anyway. So yeah.
It's so important because all of this whole thing about, people losing their jobs and just general fear, and you have to account for that. The thing is though, like for example, for this client that I recently worked with, we were working on this brand new revenue stream, or relatively new revenue stream, and we had 25 people in the room, cross-functional, and we were running an innovation lab, and these people are the same people who have just blinkers from day to day. They're just doing their thing every single day. But once you actually get them to see the potential, that there is no fear, it's excitement. It's like, wow, when can I get this? Because they are now playing.
Absolutely.
And it was such a, like, that's the kind of excitement I want, because everyone that I have interacted with who have gone through that transition, like you, like
of course,
you see this like buzz.
It's
what
crazy,
with this thing.
It's almost like magic, but it's real.
And I think that's the difference.
I
think that's, in a way, that is AI confidence.
I think so, yeah. Right? I think back to the recent project you've worked on, just to kind of draw together time and the doers and the kind of magic of it. And I think to your project around the silliness project, right? That was a thing that you kind of conceived of and talked to people about months ago, and there was a big cost. $2,000 to build this this product.
That's how
it used to be. That way. It used to be.
And you need a UX designer, you need a web developer, you need someone to test it out, you need some coordinator guy, you need at least 3, 4, 5 people.
To build one product. And I guess the reality is to kind of bring everything back full circle here is like, it took you what?
10 hours, less than that, 2 evenings.
2 evenings.
$15. Because I bought a domain.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money. But that's, I mean, the exponential, that's one person doing one product in that constrained space. Imagine that across a whole enterprise of people, in whatever the context of that enterprise needs. I think that's the magic of that. That is the big what if.
Which is why doing this with CXO is so exciting,
Hmm.
because these people are like, we want to do this for non-technical people, not because we want to convert them to technical people, but because they are good at having the vision, and they are good at being strategic. So when you combine that with something so powerful like this and magical, and then people who are ready and are that visionary can clearly see how consequential this is going to be for the business.
And to give them, I guess, it's to connect the art of the possible to their overall strategy already. So it's like, I kind of understand this AI thing, but I don't really know. And then if we can bridge that into their strategy, they can go away and confidently make changes to that strategy based on that. And then whether they do that through their teammates or for their company, or they spin up their own like AI kind of like spin off in their business to experiment, they've got something there to guide them. And I think that's, for me, will be like a great success in terms of what we're trying to do here.
I think for me, my success criteria is that their day, the next day of AI confidence day, is going to look different.
Yes.
The immediate next day, the decisions that they would make would be different decisions than they would have made before the day. Because it is going to change their mindset. And the tricky thing with CXOs is, I don't think it's very hard for them to get neutral, independent opinions. Because they are being sold to all the time. So I think that's one of the reasons why, when we talked about this, we wanted to do this as a very small group, in-person exercise.
Absolutely.
Which is all about learning, not about selling. Not a conference, not another, take these books and read it.
Here's another webinar, here's a thing. I think having that safety to do that in smaller groups is important. I think, we're looking to have some rules around this space, so it's very, safe to come armed with your challenges and feel safe to express them. So the more you can express, the more we can kind of help them out. A bit like therapy, but not qualified therapy. AI therapy. The next project.
Without AI.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we should, so in terms of what we're doing here, maybe the rule sets, I mean, maybe you can talk more to what that.
So it's basically the Chatham House rules, which means everybody can come in and talk freely. And people can share what we talked about in the room, but they can only share it in a way that it cannot be directly linked with the people in the room. So it's not named in any way. And that's really important, because we want, like you said, people to come in and be very okay to say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with, or this is what I'm facing. And this is another thing, right? I think people don't really realize how much value comes from everybody else in the room. So not just two of us, but everybody else in the room are going through the same journey.
It's not just them, it's like everyone's got this problem.
And not just the problem, but they have seen a different dimension of the problem, which they can then come in and say, okay, this is what happened here.
Of course.
Or this is how we dealt with it, or this is what someone else dealt with it, and this is what the impact was. So suddenly this becomes like this very close-knit place, cohort, which is what we are hoping that this will go into. That it's not just that one day, but even after that day, when you're actually trying these things out for yourself or your company, you can come, you can basically come back and say, this is what I tried, or anybody has tried that, or this, or this is what I've been told. What do you guys think?
A self-learning community of people that are kind of
board of advisor, but not like board of advisors.
We'll work on that title. But for me, that would be amazing to have like the cohorts throughout the year, because I guess the industry demands it. But having people come back to the different cohorts, being like, this is what I did, this is what I learned, this is what you should learn from this, and that bearing that out will be amazing. And I think there's so much potential in doing that. But I guess it always comes back to that thing, doesn't it? So the AI Confidence Day is small, focus groups, safe. I think also addressing some of the other things that people talk about when I, hear pessimistic comments. all the time about AI, about is it safe? Is vibe coding good or bad? Is my data integrity going to be retained? I think we'd also want to address that in the day as well, because that's also I mean, have confidence. You want to make sure your things are safe, right?
So but all of those things which we want to really not necessarily give a lecture, but talk about things like, data readiness.
Yes.
What does data readiness mean in the AI world? Do you really need 6 months or a year to get your data
ever ready? Is your data
ever ready? Right? And how? And that's the point. Like all these things are sort of nuanced. It's not that you should be data ready.
Yeah.
But there is a nuance in that. What does that actually mean when it's on the ground, and how do you get there? And there are so many different versions that we need to understand in there. And I think there are just all these myths that you have to do it this way, or if you do it, and the reason not that they were always myths. I think this is the tricky part about AI. Because things are changing so quickly, these statements were true at a point in time, but they were not true anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense. And just the world has moved on that fast that actually...
Yes, and that fast is so fast. It's like months, like 2 months, sometimes weeks.
It's a bit like legislation, isn't it? When you build legislation, like it's so there to address something of that period, but actually it just lingers as the world moves on. It's still hanging around a bit. And I think that's part of what would be great in this space, is to go, let's talk about all these things.
And what is real today.
Demystify everything you can. Because I do think you can do things without having to worry about every single... It's almost better to start moving forward and try something with a level of security and safety than just forever be preparing to do the thing and never do anything.
So it's like, we cannot do that because we have to have this first. And all these different like steps. We can't do this because of this. And you just want to... and I think this is why this... the way we're thinking about, like we've thought about AI Confidence Days, so fun as well. It's almost, I feel like it's like a mini MBA where we go take a real company.
I mean, you get a certificate at the end.
So and they get a certificate.
For more because you're one, but you're right.
Yes, and actually create a strategy, an operating model, like an actual thing. Learn by doing.
Absolutely. Like an alumni, people that are actually, back to what you said at the start, not just thinking and talking about it, they're actually doing it. And then coming back to share those experiences with said alumni, I think would be an amazing step forward. Well, because it's like a classic thing, isn't it? The Simon Sinek thing, we're better together kind of thing. And it really is like, I constantly talk about AI, but it always comes back to this human factor in it, essentially. And I think this is really where the outputs of this are much more human-centered than just...
I think there is
AI.
Why do you think we see these things and people don't? Like, why are we saying this and most people don't think that there is anything?
I think it's back to that universal connector, right? It's time, isn't it? So we've had the luxury of having time to be in it and to experiment and play and learn. And I've been very
to different clients as well in different settings.
Right. Like I found that's been like the unlock for me. Like I've been able to remodel my company to have way more time for me to focus on experimentation, play, whatever my life wants of me, but then having access to multiple industries, multiple sizes of clients, seeing that actually in a way the problem and the solution we're trying to build it is agnostic to size / industry, really. And I think that's the two things where if you're in a role and in a company, you're in this bubble, and I guess it's like a sounding board where everyone's talking about AI, whatever, it's bouncing back into themselves. It's just like an echo chamber, something I say. And the reality is like it doesn't need to be an echo chamber. It can actually be a structured conversation with a structured outcome. And that all starts with, like I said before, right? It's like confidence before you get to the outcome of like,
I think there is something else though. I think what somehow happened with AI, I think it started back like when ChatGPT came out, like this whole, AI is ChatGPT. So the way we do AI is we roll out ChatGPT, or we roll out Claude, or we roll out Copilot. And that's the extent of it. This idea that, okay, now that you have Copilot, now let's figure out what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And I was saying this to my friend the other day. I was like, it's like having a hammer and saying, what can you build with it? And he said, no, actually it's worse than that, because it's not just having a hammer, it's having a hammer with disco lights, and with rotating head, and then you give it to somebody and say, oh, what do you want to do with it?
Yeah. Yes.
have like have no idea what you're talking.
It looks great, but
it looks so fancy.
yeah.
And it's almost like, it's out of sequence.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not the right thing, it's just the right order.
Yeah.
It's like you first break the eggs before you've even put the pan on the stove.
Yeah. So the order of things is out of place.
So,
So I can raise that in a way. So if I use my metaphor that I always wheel out to all my clients, and it's like, if you had a little child, we'll call him not AI, we'll call him Al, and Al's going to learn all this amazing stuff and help you be amazing in return. You have to take Al through the levels of school, right, to make him a PhD in superpowers. And it's like everyone right now using like level one, right, primary school stuff in that context. It's like they're talking to each other, they may be saving some stuff in projects. It's just the LLM thing, right? Not actually AI, it's just a thought partner, which is great. It's a starting point. But really where people should be at now, we're at like level 3 in a general sense. Like we've done level 2, which is automation. Like, okay, it's learned from you, it can do some stuff that automates, great. Al's helping you get things done now, which is lovely. But actually level 3, where the agent comes in, Al gets some of his pals and we start doing your work for you in certain areas. That I think is where companies should be going towards. They don't have to be there yet, but it could be there. And I know it comes with lots of, security and fear and naysays. Right. But it's like, if you could dispel that with the right frameworks and
and this is the reason, right? If you just talked about it and we told people thousands of times, don't be afraid.
Right. Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we always do this show, not tell. And this is our way of, actually getting these CXOs, getting you guys in and show you, and you get to do this rather than me telling you things.
Yeah. It's a great way to live, isn't it? Show, not tell. Just get it done. Do the work. Let them learn by the work. Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. As what is the day all about? Showing people what is possible, but actually doing the thing to get them to go away and do it themselves.
Using a real problem, real case study, real company, using your examples, actual real examples.
I think that's it. And that's the linkage I found from all this stuff we've done in our sort of working worlds, is just having that connection point between like getting rid of the fear first, then look at capability, then layer in the capability of a plan, then execute the capability, versus what people do now, I think, is like, I must buy a tool, I must start doing stuff with it, or I must make people use. I saw some crazy stat the other day about like, it's like 78% of companies or something like that has people that they have a license to say said tool, but 78% of their team have their own personal tool, and they're using it for personal stuff. They're not really using the company one. So there needs to be some sort of level of like planning and orchestration. I think that's why I see the day, confidence day, is like a great leapfrog for that.
It is a big thing for a CXO to put in a full day.
It's a big one for them. They're busy.
It's a big investment in terms of time, more importantly than anything else. But we thought about this. We talked about this. We said, well, we looked at different formats. We've done this a few times before. We know, like, if it is a webinar, nobody, like, no matter how focused you might be, you're going to have emails and Slacks and something else. And you really need that almost taking you out of your day-to-day. And I think that's what this day represents. It's like we're trying to create a space where you're out of your day-to-day. And you're just focused on this thing and learning with your peers. It is that change of environment is so crucial.
Definitely, because creativity really won't be able to flourish in a space where you're
already like
like, in a way, it is a day for them to kind of level up and get a sense of what AI could be, but it's also like a way for them to apply it creatively into their business strategies. I take away some stuff afterwards, some nice giveaways, takeaways, and certificate. which everyone wants, I'm sure. So yeah, I think that's I would say is a really crucial point, and more importantly, just having that connection to see that it isn't just their business; it's every business is going through
Yes.
this, and hopefully, in this alumni we're talking about, will
Yes.
create connections beyond just what you and me can show people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, the impact once you, like we were talking about, once you see what's possible, and you see that it like
Well,
then it's just like
yeah,
wow.
it's been a revelation for me for
Yes.
the last sort of like 12
Or even
or
2 years, like
probably
it's
2 years
happening
realistically.
every few months.
I think that's it because ultimately, like I've betted personally myself on AI. So I guess the AI confidence thing is the embodiment of what I've bet on myself, like you have,
Yeah.
right? So I believe that with this, you can forge ahead and build a
Yeah.
different type of company, or at
Yeah.
least help other companies
Yeah.
shift into this new paradox of new companies. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good time to be alive.
It is. It is such an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah.
And anybody, I actually see this. Yes, we are doing this for CXOs and board members because I think how they, when their mindset shifts, that's where you can see the impact across the whole company.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in a way, it's not really about their business or their company. It's about them.
That's deep.
Because someone
Yeah.
who really understand the capability,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the AI confidence, is that the confidence in AI, it's also confidence in themselves.
Huh.
Because if you think about how, at the, like even at CXO, any level right now, career, what it is going to look like,
Yeah.
what jobs are going to look like, and there is
Yeah.
such a massive uncertainty there. But when you go through what we have gone through, and when we take clients through that,
Yeah.
it's almost that, okay, I know what I'm doing. It's like not just taking your company through, but you yourself, whether
Yeah,
you
right.
go from this company to another company,
Yeah.
or you do something of your own on the
Yeah.
back of whatever is happening,
Yeah.
or it just gives you the tools and the
Yeah.
mindset to be able to do that.
Yeah. And we joke about AI therapy, but in a way, it kind of has that small connection point where it's like a good day's work or a good outcome from this, at least for me anyway, is to people to leave and feel like empowered
Yeah.
because of the day and
Yeah.
in themselves, and then by proxy, their team, their business,
Yeah.
etc. So,
Yeah, or whatever they choose to do.
right. Yeah.
Example, your very example where you're like
My life.
your life where
Yeah.
you're a very like you're a new dad,
Yeah, true.
and
Yeah.
that has changed how things
Yeah.
were in your life career wise,
Yeah.
and how this has helped you to and I'm a single mom, like all
Yeah.
these things come into play in
Because
terms
it
of
helps it.
yeah
Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah, if you were to look at it for what's the case study that you put on to say like why AI's Confidence Day, I'm like, well, AI's fundamentally helped me be a better parent because I've been more available. I can work more flexibly. I can get things done much faster whilst I've been, on the move.
on the move. Yeah,
It's been a life enhancing upgrade because of it. I think that's what I would love to go
all people.
Yeah, to go back to where we started from this. What's the outcome we want to create? It's that. It's to show people there is a better way, whether it's for their business, their own life, whatever. And it's like the starting point to do that. And we've lived that for several years now. So it actually is a way of living and working. So yeah, there's a lot of responsibility there.
I think it's going to be fun.
It's exciting, right? And it's exciting and fun. That is also a win for me.
And I'm so looking forward because I think you and I are going to learn so much from this
other
and from them,
people.
from people. It's going to be super fun.
I love that.
So yeah, come to AI Confidence Day, guys.
Yeah. So to summarize, it's going to be amazing. Come and join us. Find yourself, help your company, and just make this AI thing
one day, just one day of loads of fun.
That's what we're asking. Yeah. I think that's probably everything we can talk about on the day for now.
Yes.
And AI and our life, history. I think it's been a good back and forth. So
amazing.
Thanks everyone for just listening. Yeah. Yes. Okay. We'll see you all at AI Confidence Day.
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye.